Hello Gobs, welcome back to another episode of Gob Rants. Now, you might notice my demeanor is a bit different because this is the third time I'm recording this. I think I'm fairly nefarious for having to re-record my videos at this time, but I have a good reason. Because the first two times I've recorded this video, based on the title, I was not angry enough. Now, recently, I've been on TikTok, as I'm always terminally online, and I've been seeing some AI ad for like some type of mobile MMO, whatever, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, it's heavily AI, which is one of the reasons I'm creating this video. Now, I went on there and rage baited somebody, and sure, if they check out this channel, whatever, I just rage bait people for fun. But this video isn't about rage baiting. This is Gob Rants, where I pick a topic about an RPG or RPG adjacent and give my opinion about it. Then I want you guys and me to have a discussion down in the comments below. It might be kinda comment farming, I guess, but I genuinely do truly want to have these conversations, and I might make a follow-up video to this Gob Rants. So that's what Gob Rants is. I'm the Goblin King, I do RPG stuff, check out my channel trailer, and let's get this intro out of the way because I'm extremely annoyed right now. Not that, it's not that serious, but let's get to our title and we can get this video on the way. Now, today's topic should be fairly easy, but if you can't read the title, it's why I hate generative AI. And I truly do mean hate. This isn't like a dislike, or like my previous videos are like I'm opposed to it slightly, maybe the darkest themes, but I truly do really hate generative AI. Now, before we discuss my opinion, let's talk about what generative AI is for those of you who are living under a rock inside a cave, such as myself. Generative AI is the use of using some type of AI program, usually ChatGPT, Vimeo, all the other AI programs. You can find them super fast, super quick. You use them, you put in some type of prompt, and you usually get a generative result out of it. So, for example, there's text generation, where you can type a prompt and you get a little bland story because it's AI generated, or images and videos, and with the way images and videos have been going, they've been getting better and better, but you can still obviously tell when something's AI generated as of now. At least for videos, even the realistic ones are starting to, it was starting to get hard, but I feel like it's starting to get easier, and I think there's a good reason for that, but later on that in the video. There's also voice generation, not text-to-speech. I think it's completely different. I'm not sure what the difference is, but text-to-speech has been around since like the 90s. I think what it is text-to-speech is purely reading text, while AI voice generation is trying to sound like whatever prompt or whatever person or fictional character or voice actor technically that you decided to put into the prompt. That's what AI voice generation is. That's the difference between text-to-speech and AI voice generation. But you get the idea. It's an AI program online that you either free, you gotta spend tokens, you gotta buy premium, something like that, to generate whatever video, image, anything you can possibly imagine. I hate it, and I have many reasons why. So let's just get into this. Now, I'm going to be a bit all over the place. I don't do these with any type of script. I do it off the top of my head. So you have to forgive me if I miss something that's probably crucial. If I do, just let me know in the comments below. So let's go ahead and talk about one of our first reasons. And this is purely, I haven't done any research on this, and you might go do research on this if you so want to. I don't expect you to, but this is from what I've seen from multiple people, and one of them I even trust because I trust them to do the research. But again, always do your research, and even if it's false, I still hate AI without this reason, if this reason is fake, but I doubt it. And that is the environmental impact that AI is having. Now, servers taking up electricity and water, I don't think is anything new, but from a lot of the research that these people have shown, AI, or at least these servers that host the AI, take up a significant amount more. We're talking about gallons and gallons that an average city might use to host these servers almost daily, I'd imagine. And they predict it's only going to get worse with the more people use it and the stronger that the AI programs get. So even just using something as simple as ChatGPT is extremely harmful. I'm not sure how harmful it is, but it does have an impact on the environment somewhat. Now people might think, oh, it's just water, we can get the water back. It's the fact of the matter, because people forget the water has to come from someplace, whether it's a reservoir, a spring underneath the ground, a lake, streams, rivers. The water has to come from somewhere. If you are drawing tons of water from the environment, you are slowly but surely destroying said environment, because again, the water has to come from somewhere, and that's what I think of every time I see any type of AI generation. Now, let's say there was no environmental impact of AI, which there always going to be, and it's only going to get worse, but let's say there's no environmental impact of AI. What's bad about it? What's wrong with it? Well, let's go over some other reasons why. The environmental one's like a big one, but even if that's not true, let's look at some other reasons why generative AI sucks. First of all, it has made people lazy, because before you used to be able to have to search online, and now you can just search for like a couple of seconds compared to a couple seconds more, because you don't want to have to go and look. You just whip out ChatGPT. Hey, what's the temperature of the sun? You know, you can find that if you just Google it too, right? I think too many people opt to go for ChatGPT extremely fast. And not only that, but the information on there could also be wrong. I don't think it's exactly fact checked. Now, it might be truthful in some sort, but like Google AI, there's been some problems lately, or not lately, this was way back when they first introduced it. And even now, even when I go and Google stuff, the AI is wrong. Dude, it's just wrong. Sure, it might get better with time, but again, if it's wrong anyways, I'm gonna have to go and look for it. And even when it does give me the AI view, I still go find other places to find the information. It's not that hard. Again, it just has made people lazy. And this is true for text generation. Now, there's a whole thing, collage of this. It's like, it's all comes to one point. It's all kind of the same point. But one of my reasons is that for text generation, people are making stories out of this. Now, this original point I got not only from this comment, but this comment is a big impact of this, because this is crazy. But in one of my YouTube comments on my horror stories recently, there was a YouTube commenter, shout out here, look at him, beautiful, thank you for leaving a comment on my video. But in here, he describes two things. His player has AI generated the background for the character. See how I'm adding RPG into this? Now, this isn't exactly, I guess, the worst thing. Like, think of it without the environmental impact. They're just making a background for some private story. But the fact of the matter is, both the DM or the OP did not want an AI generated backstory. The second part is, they used it to look up their D&D spells. Now, I don't know if you guys notice, but D&D 5e at least, and even D&D 1, the spells are extremely easy to find online without AI. You know, they have an entire book, right? A book you can go to the back and see what the spell does, verbatim, word by word. You don't need ChatGPT, like the poster says in the comment, has made people lazy. Too lazy to look up the spells themselves that are very easy to find. And second, too lazy to even write up a backstory. Now, I used to have a player who had a problem writing backstories. Good thing I like writing backstories. I sat down with them, and even with the other players, and we wrote a backstory together. But with AI, it's just bland, lazy, repetitive, stereotypical. There's no human twist. There's no soul to it, which is another point. It feels completely soulless because it's not being done by human. Not only in RPGs, but also images and videos. None of it's being done by human. Whenever I see any type of AI image or video that I'm slightly like impressed in quotation marks, I always think, wow, this would be cool if it was made by a human. Just every single time I ever see something like that. Like Vimeo released, realistic rat running through New York. I'm like, I feel like a human could make that, right? That's the whole reason we have artists and 3D modelers and animators. They're all artists. Everyone in that type of category is artists. I would know. I have a 3D like mini license or whatever you want to call it. I would know, but it's just soulless. There's no human depth behind it. Like on YouTube, which is another reason for making this video, they recently went through and changed their rules or whatever for heavily AI generated content on channels and videos and whatever, and I think they even banned some people or at least demonetized them. Now I'm not sure how true that is, but if they did, thank goodness. But then in the same part, they're also using AI to alter people's videos secretly without telling them, so take that as you will, YouTube. But I mean, when I saw that AI generated content was getting demonetized or even banned, that was awesome. I was so glad that happened. I'm so happy. More human interaction, please. But regardless, getting back to the original point, there was a YouTuber. I would say no shade to them, but you can throw all the shade towards him. It's Quabblecop. He was controversial, not recently. It's kind of been some time. I think he even got banned, but he was really pushing for heavily AI generated videos, and all it was blatant content farming, which is another issue that I hate. And those 2 points come from another YouTuber, because no shade towards him. I'm not going to list the video. Don't go out and try to find it. If you know the video, don't throw hate towards him. I don't want any harassment on actual people. But anyways, this is purely about their opinions and their content. No hate towards the person. Anyways, they had an opinion that they were okay with AI generation. I'm assuming not okay with it. It's like they wouldn't use it and they would prefer if you don't use it. But as long as you tell people that you're using AI generated content or content farm, then it's okay, which I'm just completely against. AI generation, once again, is looping back to being lazy. They don't want to take the time to hire an artist. They don't want to take the time to record their voice. You don't even need to hire an artist. You can draw or model. Blender's free. There's all sorts of drawing programs that are free that you can use. I use IBS Paint. Like I said, you can grab Blender, and I'm sure there's a slew of other free programs that you can go and grab, and paid programs that you can go grab. This is why it's lazy. People don't want to take time to sit down and record. They don't want to have to edit out the mistakes or anything like that. They rather just type it in and just have it be read off by a soulless bot. A clanker. Which I love that word because they're using it for AI generated. Beautiful word. Amazing. I love how everything is turning out. But anyways, going back to those 2 points, both content farming, which now has evolved into using AI generation content, but content farming also involves stealing other people's videos and using them in these long comps. People go and watch the comps instead of the original channels, and the original channels don't get any publicity, such as weather chasing, because in the comment of that person's video, that the opinions I'm talking about, there was a weather chaser, and he said a lot of his videos get taken by weather chasing content farms, and then all those views that he would have got goes to the content farm instead. So no, I can't stand by being okay with content farming. I can't stand by being okay with AI generated content at all. I don't care if it's just a voice or you use an image or a background or anything, or video. It's not that hard. Again, lazy, soulless, not that hard to go and find a royalty-free background or even draw it yourself or character or whatever you're trying to do. It's not that hard, I assure you. Okay, you just gotta put in a little bit more time. Which, that's one thing about my channel. I do everything on the channel. My voice, the editing, the backgrounds, the characters. Obviously, it's bad. I know that. But it's a lot better than using soulless AI generation. And remember how I talked about content farms stealing other people's videos? Well, there's another huge glaring issue. Now, it's one thing to be lazy. It's one thing to not be done by human, but most AI generation, if not all, is blatant thievery. For example, recently Studio Gilby was a popular AI generation to do, and guess what? That goes to the movies, that goes to the screenshots, and it steals those images and generates whatever you typed into your prompt and spits it back out at you. But not only that, AI generation has been shown to steal from small artists or even big artists a lot. It's been shown to do it a lot. Artists have even started to put these little text box in their images to not be used for AI training. Now people are like, oh, it's not stealing, they're just using it as inspiration. When sometimes it's literally straight up the picture, they just warp the thing on the face. Now some might say, oh, but wouldn't that be like, what's the word, fair use because they're taking it? It's like, no. They're still just stealing the image and using it for their own profit or for their own gain. Now it's one thing if they make it, no, it's not. You can't be okay with it. That's another issue. People have become too accepting, which is another reason I wanted to make this video. I used to think this was a hot take, but apparently I'm starting to be on the decline. It's more the fact that people are being used to it and like, oh, AI is the future. AI is going to be like the new internet. People thought the same thing about VR. Now VR is still popular, but it's nowhere near the impact that everyone said it was going to have. And I'm sure there are tons of other things, both good and horrible, that people said would be the future. No, that hasn't turned out. Now, am I saying AI isn't going to be the future? No. It's too late. They've already, companies are already starting to incorporate it and everything. You know, soulless companies trying to make a buck that they don't want to pay an artist. Now, recently, Fortnite had the thing where they had Darth Vader. It had a generative AI voice in it, but they got the permission from the family. Everybody still cool with it? No. I feel like that gives them just more feel to use AI generation in their games. You get used to it one thing, now all the companies want to do it. Call of Duty has been shown to use AI generation in their calling cards, or at least so I heard. And, you know, it's just a calling card, and that's how it starts. It's just one thing. The companies see that they can get away with it, and soon they start to put it in everything. This is why I think AI generation hate should be more prevalent. This is why I'm making the video. I truly hate AI generation. There was another comment on TikTok that I didn't comment on. I refrained, but it was a clip of an Oblivion. It was a funny clip, and one of the comments was like, oh wow, I can't wait for AI generation to get good so I can have infinite dialogue in my video games, so I can have a soulless stolen voice read a stolen prompt from somewhere online. Several issues. First of all, you have to constantly be online for these AI generation games to work. Sure, we might get to the point where you can take AI generation with you. Probably not. Even then, it would probably need to be huge, because again, it has to pull from somewhere. I don't think there's a generative AI that you can take offline with you that is also good. I just don't think it exists. Second of all, it takes jobs away from the writers, from the coders, from the developers, from the voice actors. It's all part into it. And now they might be talking about the future, which is another topic. Oh, the future, the AI is going to get better. But I feel like if so many people generate AI content and put it online, aren't those AIs just going to take from the AI generated images, videos, music, voices? It's going to get to the point that people upload so much AI generated content that I feel like AIs are just going to loop back and start spitting out old AI generated content. But anyways, back to whatever I was talking about, the whole Oblivion thing. Not only does your game have to constantly be online, not only does it steal jobs from everything else, it just won't work. Now, if you're using it for infinite casual dialogue, sure, that'll work. But don't expect it to be able to put out a quest and then the game automatically generates a quest for you that isn't something as simple as a fetch quest or go slay these bandits. Those are already coded into the game. You would actively have to have something work alongside the generative AI to track every single quest or mission it'll do. Not to mention, it would be soulless. There would be no compassion or writing in it. Not to say that Skyrim or Oblivion has the most in-depth quests. I mean, some of the quests are, but the simple, like, go to the bandit camp and slay it. Of course, that's not going to be entirely compassionate or whatever. It's just a little filler quest. But actual quests are just going to turn into repeated hash. There's not going to be any spin or take on it, which is true with AI-generated voices. There's no human enunciation. There's no personality, because you are strictly trying to steal someone else's voice. You're not going to get the mannerisms that a human would have, or at least as of now. Now, of course, always talk about the future. Oh, it will get better. Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to get better. Here in the US, I hope we develop laws. Korea has some good laws against it. You can't AI generate someone in a sexual manner, or else you can literally go to prison, which I feel like that's what should be here. I feel like people and companies and media should be able to copyright their content. And if an AI generation is trained on it, then that AI generation should be stewed. Okay, Disney, if you're ever going to put a lockdown on your content, put it down on AI generation, please. For once, can you use your evil powers to do something good? But of course, to make a buck, they might just start using AI generation themselves if they have not already been doing it. Now then, I feel like I've juiced everything out of my system. Do I sound annoyed enough? Do I sound ranty enough? Let's see. Let's go over all the points I've made so far, or at least all my opinions. Harmful against the environment. Extremely lazy. Extremely soulless. Almost blatant thievery. If not a little thievery, it's thievery altogether. Even if it's an original image, it's still going to be thievery because the AI was, quotation, trained on it. Now, people are worried about it stealing jobs. But I feel like there's going to be a renaissance of human, creative. Because again, AI generation can only imitate. It cannot make something new. It might make something new with human input, but by itself, it's just going to try to copy. Like the Studio Gilby images. It's just copying the art style, and then it's just using its original collage. That TikTok ad had freaking Star Wars minions. Cool, I guess you created something new, I suppose. But, like I said, I feel like there's going to be a renaissance where we go back and people are going to be wanting the human interaction. People are going to be wanting original artists, original voice actors, whatever you want to call it. People are going to want human touches, human input, human creativity. Guys, all I want you to do is think before you use ChatGPT or use Google. Use a browser that doesn't have auto AI results tell everything for you. Use your brain. Don't become complicit. Is that the word? Just think for yourself a little. Remember, everything online, take it with a grain of salt. It's that simple. Even my opinion, take it with a grain of salt. I think I'm done. This is the last time I'm going to record this because I truly feel like there's nothing left to say about the issue. Okay? Just don't use AI. It's that simple. The more you boycott it, even if it's a personal project, remember the environment. Remember, it's not that hard to make a rough sketch of whatever you're doing. If you're going to use AI, at least use it for inspiration and then change it so heavily, so put your own twist on it so much so that it doesn't even look like the original whatever AI thing is anymore, because that's someone else's work. Okay, if you generate a magic item for D&D, make it work to the rules, change the name, change whatever effects, just use it to brainstorm ideas. Don't use it to put out a product. Don't try to sell it to other people. Don't try to use AI quotation art and call yourself an artist, because you're not. It's not even a form of art. So, all I'm saying is when you're watching AI videos or anything of the sorts, just think, okay? Just swipe past. Don't give it any attention. You already got the view on it. Just move on. Don't like it. Don't share it. Don't repost it. Let's stop AI generation. Let's stop these clankers. What do you guys think? Are you addicted to using AI, huh? You like using your little chat GPT, huh? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me why you think it's okay to destroy the environment and steal people's artwork. Maybe you can yell at me for being misinformed, but I don't think so. Even if some of that stuff, it's still going to be soulless. It still looks awful. Even the realistic stuff looks like crap. It's hard to tell, but when you spot it, it's like there's real people that can already do that. Like there's a video of cutting cheese. It's like, cool, that's the real person actually cut that cheese. It's so stupid to me. But I'm going to end the rant now. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. If you want to reach out to me at other places, I have social media down in the description. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. Whether if you left a good comment or a bad comment. And I hope you gobs have a love of a day. May your content be made by humans and not some clanker.